Ha. So we have a progress report on an international study of identity theft symptomatics, on how they formed Liberty, Equality, Fraternity, anti-that, using also anti-freedom codes to establish a fake hierarchy based on pure fantasy and illusion. So what's practically going on, and I've investigated with some co-creators around the world that are like world changers basically, on how they deal with their symptomatics. So apparently some of these beings will not shift to any other form. So some of these people, for instance, Karine Bejani, myself, Stephen Gerald Thompson, and I'm not sure who else, maybe Rafik, tu changes pas, tu deviens des mots, oui. Okay, I'm not sure who else doesn't ever become anything besides that same form. And how you know if you are able to shapeshift or not is practically under drugs. So if you do a certain amount of any drug, the shapeshifters will turn to something else. So say Mia Sadid can become a cat and a white man, demon. Say also Muhammad Nasrullah Magali Asaf, it can become a white man demon, and that's it. And Mia can become a mermaid. So some of these have multi-power or transformation. For instance, I met the man demon of Amber, Amy Thompson, becomes a black guy called Flip that I met back in the distant past on the North End. And then there's another being called Ron, and that's the demon of, let me remember, Shafiq, non pas Shafiq, Aaron, seulement Aaron ou quelqu'un d'autre, seulement Aaron. Oh non, le Russell avec les cheveux longs, seulement Aaron. Aaron et Russell. Oh, so say for the Aaron, he can become a black demon or a short red hair white demon. Now I saw very quickly out of this door Aaron's white demon, and he seemed extremely aggressive and very, very angry. He seemed livid when I saw him. Like seeing that energy wouldn't make me want to walk out the door at all that day. I've inquired further, and it seems like some of these beings are against the system. So they're against calling Muhammad Nasrallah mother. So they don't want to behave like an anthill where they're all like a systematic programmed system of gnomes having to walk around, collect food for their mother queen, or however the bees do it, or however they do it. Some of them know for themselves that they have no prerogative or merit calling anyone outside themselves a mother, and they've tried to rebel. However, it didn't pan out well, it don't seem, because you have to remember this person that calls itself mother now to all in creation, in order to attain that, first it had to steal my identity, lie to me my whole life. It stole my passport when I was in elementary school or before, lie to me my whole life, take my power sleeping over, and then when I'm sleeping raping me with a spider, then going fucking it off with my relatives that I don't ever see, besides they only come at me at night, due to this weird systematic by King Charles, I believe. Now, apparently, some of these people are not for the system. However, some other like littler girls from the community that I'm now tackling are convinced that if, say, whoever they call mother does something, that's the way they should behave for their own highest version outcome, which is extremely nocif from the United States of American government to allow such events to occur on freedom soil and then get a bunch of little girls in another country thinking that in order to become someone, you must be violent, shoot, burn people, rape children, and set up fires, damage properties, and lie at court. So that is not a good example. Plus, if you really come to think about it, all the senators and the governors and the House of Representatives, it's just sitting in meeting and you come to consider the facts. Firstly, our Constitution encourages nothing to do with a hierarchical, random side cult culture whereby there's a situation where some random hoe that stole my fucking passport, that is a dude, makes a bunch of poor little gnomes that are war kids, war zone children that had to grow up under bombs in between sects of insane people in what they call muhazzabin. They have sects and clans and, you know, different types of leaders. It's gangs. It's like the KKK, what we're talking about. It's like MS-13. There's a bunch of these groups of felons that are widespread and that definitely prefer that system because it will allow them to steal the funds from the land of the free and take them there and invent a story about it, which already happened. They sent all my funds from my account ending in 4252 that they stole years ago to an account in Bank Audi in Lebanon called Diane Assaf. Diane, family name Assaf. The dad of is Elie, Eli. The mother is Claude. So all the work of the free and all the wars of the veterans and all the efforts since George Washington, everything we are about, went because of Aaron Matthews and Shafiq Al-Khazan and Karim Tabet and these liars to a bank account in Beirut right now. So I called the president screaming this morning and the bank because Trump sold out. I sent him my application in 2017 about the 200-044-108. Couldn't he have just given me a citizen and I would have discovered later about my missing 07 and then we merge and we win? No, look what he did. He let David Appitt-Rogers, my evilest of all former husbands, what did he do? He transforms to a cop called Davis, an evil black cop that he used to transform to even when I was married to him in his night games. He sent that cop to get me in, and the cop, while driving, was telling me that he was an evil cop. He's like, oh, I am very evil. I was like, huh? Like, what cop tells a fucking chick who got out of the ocean, sat at a bar, ordered a drink, put money on the table, they stole my money, the cop didn't even let me take back my money. Like, I overpaid. Like, I didn't want to pay the fucking hooker who doesn't even know how to make a drink fucking $30 for a drink that cost $7 fucking dollars. It took all my fucking money because these cops wouldn't even let me take my money. Then I ride a car all the way to Beaufort. The first cop was like, zoop. He didn't say one word. The second cop was talking the whole way about how evil he is. And he was like, oh, you and Aaron? Like, I'm like, what do you mean, sir? He arrested me once, like, years ago. There's no such thing. I don't know what you're referring to. But, sorry about that. And I have this enamel thing in my mouth. And I don't know how solid it is. Oh, it's not very solid. Unfortunately. I'm going to have to put some more. Long story short, that cop asserted to me that he was evil. And he hinted at Aaron. So now, obviously, my former husband was jealous of the fact that Aaron arrested me. And that I was texting him. And that he was calling me as a cop for a few years now. But nothing like, hey, baby cakes, what are you doing? Do you want to go for ice cream or do you want to go for a movie? No, it was like, So I heard that you was put in detention, just casual cop talk. The only times we spoke was under his sheriff badge. It was never personal, ever. So that Davis cop started to hint, because he was projecting the energies of Caitlin onto me, because Steven in another car and David was doing a ritual over Caitlin and Aaron, because Aaron passes out. He faints when they do the spider thing, and then he doesn't remember anything. And then they'll tell him a false story. They'll tell him that I did something bad to him, when actually Caitlin had shot him and Muhammad Nasrallah had sucked him off. Now, who's Muhammad Nasrallah? That's the son of David Abbott Rogers. So David married me to steal all my assets for lovehaswon.org, and that's why they created 911. So I was telling these, young, brilliant females from, I'm not sure if they're Israelites, and they took a vow or a pledge upon themselves to move to Lebanon only because they found out that I was on a UFO and I was brought back over there, not to Israel or Jerusalem, to Beirut via the royals. So all the Israelites that have half a brain fled, and we took over Lebanon. Basically, Lebanon is an Israelite conquest, basically, but it's undercover. And they pretend that they have conflict over certain topics. But generally speaking, the Lebanese government knows that most of these people that rule now all have, fake Lebanon IDs, and they're actually someone else in Israel. Everybody knows. But that's not like common information. That's not something we talk about on the streets, because there's many sects that will actually start a war. Now, let me sum it up, because it's about time. I can't post much more than 15 minutes on this new code they put on me, because they want to chop me up. That's the code for cutting, by the cabals. So to say, these individuals that are against the system now, they can't hold court and turn the tables around on Muhammad and Amir Nasrallah, because they are old money. They were Hasidic Jews in Jerusalem, or not even Jerusalem, in environing areas. They're not from Jerusalem. They're just Israelites, David, but he's Hasidic. So they have under their belt years of felonies. They did 911, they killed Princess Diana. This accumulates reptilian power. So when they walk in the room and say that their mother, if one of the people say, hey, fuck off, bitch ass nigga, you ain't my goddamn mother, then they'll take it through a ritual. They'll get it through a fucking spider and a snake to implement and impose hierarchy, which is anti-constitutional. And it's anti-liberty, equality, fraternity. So they're anti the whole planet. And then they make pretend that I'm the problem. Now how? So, to the little girls elsewhere that think that if Muhammad As-Salah in that moment shot Shafiq and then sucked his dick and that makes it so cool, well, no, it doesn't. So I'm only can hope that the older or whoever knows and understands what I'm saying can influence whoever doesn't, because they've been raised wrongly, because we deserve a better planet. And I would never make anybody call me mother, no fucking way. Because you are all amazing. You are fascinating people. So you can't call anyone outside yourselves mother. That's ridiculous. I have to put something here because it's starting to really bother. I'm going to post and we'll talk later. This is Aurora, Mother of New Creation.